City, where tonight the Homer-Center Wildcats get set to meet the Purchase Line Red Dragons. And we have football weather for the first time this season, too. We're going to have a cool, crisp fall evening for the Red Dragons and Wildcats as they get set to meet for the 61st meeting all time. Ward Hilliard joining me alongside since 1994. And Ward, these two teams, particularly the past few years, have really hooked up in some Donnybrook, some high-scoring affairs, including games between the two teams. The last Purchase Line victory came back in 2011. What does that... They are getting hardline internet in this old barn, and perhaps if they have a game next week or the week after here, they will have that resolved. It's really out of our control. We're doing everything we can to assist. D. Ober, who thought he had the night off, is planted here in the press box trying to get it resolved. And there's a lot of technology upstairs with coaches' headsets and the Homer-Center cameramen, and that's attached to internet. We are attached to internet on a separate jetpack, and we don't know. I know it's something they tested earlier today, and it worked fine. And
same old story. That's the Gremlins, I'm telling you. It's the little people that are running around. No, I'm not attached to no doggone internet.
By the way, our good friend Mike Goncher telling me Josh and Brady are cousins, not brothers. And I think I did know that, and I misstated it earlier. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, you made a mistake.
Doesn't happen often.
You didn't call them Systers.
Shysters.
Shyster.
Yeah, they are Systers.
Well, he's a pretty
one in junior high, too, I think.
good runner, Syster is.
Yes, he is.
You better watch him right now.
It's third down, 4 to go. Red Dragons at their own 39, and Syster going to throw deep downfield, has a receiver breaking free, and it is hauled in as a flag comes in. It's going to be interference and a hold on Homer-Center's Michael Krajosic, but they'll decline that because Melo Sanchez hauled it in at the 15-yard line, and with 14 seconds on the clock, the Red Dragons are in business. Homer-Center's defense just continues in a variety of ways to be porous these past 3 weeks.
It's not something you expect from this Red Dragon offense as a deep pass, but they will do that and on occasion, and this time it works.
46 yards, 45 yards, Jerry says officially.
Major swing of momentum if they can punch this thing in.
To the Homer-Center 16-yard line.
Spiked the ball. I guess they're out of timeouts, Mark, so they spiked it that time.
Halftime show, we'll have radio replays. A look at the first half stats is compiled by His Excellency, Jerry Rossai, who treated us to quite the meal last week, didn't he, from his brother's restaurant. Is that the Point Street Tavern?
Yes.
Boy, that was good stuff, wasn't it, Ward?
Yeah, sure
Nothing
was.
like eating a sandwich, huge, packed with Italian meats right before I go to bed at midnight. I'm sure Dr. McDowell would be quite pleased with me.
Size of first base down at the ball field. It was huge.
You had the Reuben, right?
Oh, my.
So here we go after the spike with 12 seconds on the clock. Second down and 10. That doesn't really matter, does it? Andrew Beer, receiver near side. And it is Ellick in there at quarterback, the freshman, and he's going to go under center. 5'9", 155-pounder. He's 4 of 5 passing this season for 64 yards and a touchdown. Has a good, strong arm.
Boy, a lot of time here for having no timeout. I don't know. And they're getting the huddle again. What the heck?
And the 25-second clock has not run.
That's what the people down here are screaming, and I don't blame them. I'm not sure what's the
receiver to the left. It is Dylan Overman, Andrew Beer to the right, and Seister's back in there at quarterback. So how does Ellick go from quarterback? If he's still in the game, if he's not in the game, it should be a substitution infraction. This officiating crew is a mess.
They get their book out. It seems like they're
you see 45
on the run.
I don't see 45 in there, and he was in there under center. But it's Seister now back at quarterback, and he's going to keep it student body right. Trying to bounce it outside. Drew Kaufman getting the angle on him, and they force him out of bounds. Inside the 10-yard line, Travis Mock near side.
Well, it's down to
Ward,
one play.
you explain to me why that wasn't a substitution infraction.
I can't explain that.
And there's
whole
a
sequence.
holding on purchase line is called by Frank Garetano with 4 seconds on the clock.
Well, that helps the situation, but as long as Seister's back there, they're a threat to score. I mean, just that way. These how these games are.
Out-of-town scoreboard, Blairsville now leading West Shamokin 17-7.
17-7. Woo.
Second down, and time is the clock is running, and time expires, but that's coming off of a penalty should the clock have been running.
Once the ball was set and put in play, yeah, it
that's
can
the
run.
End of the first
4
half.
seconds was all that was left. Wow, that was bizarre.
Yeah. So, wow, crazy, huh?
Well, purchase line does receive. Keep in mind, Homer took the won the toss and took the ball, so that they're going to kick off again.
All right, stay with us for our First Commonwealth Bank stats as we kick off our Colonial Motor Mart and Colonial Toyota halftime report. We'll come back with radio replays. Up next, Homer-Center leading at the break 22-12 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. stats in the first half.
For the Purchase Line Red Dragons, Josh Seister with 11 carries, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady Seister, 2 carries, 1 yard. Brooks had 4 carries for 35 yards. They took the 17 rushes, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's not a lot, but they're gaining chunks of yardage, and that certainly makes a difference in that stat. Passing, 1 of 4, 45 yards, 155 on the ground, 45 through the air, 200 yards for the Dragons in the first half. For Homer-Center, Colin Troop, 6 yards, 6 carries, 16 yards. Ben Schmidt, 12 carries for 92, 2 touchdowns. Travis Mock, 2 carries for 3 yards. Homer had 20 rushes, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ben Schmidt through the air, 7 of 13, 149 yards and a touchdown, but 2 interceptions, very unlike Ben Schmidt. So that's something that he's going to need to correct. A time of possession, not all that big a gap. Homer had it for 13:35, and Purchase Line had it for 11:25. Purchase Line also had minus 12 in team rushing there, and 33 offensive plays for Homer-Center, 260 yards in their first half. Boy, it's great to have Rossi back.
Boy, we have to renegotiate that contract with Jerry Rossi. And hold on one second. I'm going to get a word from Chris Garetano from the Homer-Center School District.
A lack of available players, and Indiana trailing tonight at home. They're trailing Hampton by a score of 14-7.
All right. Do you want to run back up there and grab the rest? Go ask them later.
a row. They own a 47-13 lead in the series. Longest winning streak for Homer-Center. Were 23 years from 1955 to 1978, and some of these, the past 6 years, as we talked about on the pregame, have been wild and woolly. We want to remind everybody again that the video stream is up and running, and after all of that with technology, you know, that ad that we just heard from Meckling Insurance, it's always something. So I was asking, well, like, what is it? You know, it's not really in our control. So the Jetpack technology, which is kind of like a portable internet, they figured out that the hardwire internet is available here at the press box. They had to override some things through their technology coordinator. So now they're actually hardwired, which we could have done this afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
So should be nice and solid. Again, we apologize. We don't control that aspect of things, but we should be in business, and fans should be able to watch a second half uninterrupted, we hope. Blessing, right? Ward, remind me about that, because I don't assume, you know, people come and they go and they, you know, go get a drink or a snack, maybe down to Point Street Tavern in Salzburg and get one of those big first base sandwiches that you talked about, and then they come back. So we want to repeat that a few times in the second half. So I'm going to count on you and your outstanding razor-like memory to stay on that.
What is this, Friday? Yeah.
So anyway, something else I want to update. Ben Schmidt with two Lee brothers in front of him. I mentioned Kuda. He passed Pete Kuda last week, but he needed 116 to pass Ian Lee. Jesse Lee is a ways away, 499 to pass him. And what was his yardage in the first half? Like 92. So 8. Let's see. That's 25 yards, 24 yards to break it. Let's see. Don't take all of my stuff there. Here we go. We'll give you this one, okay? And this one. Going to give them some rosters downstairs on the cameras. Thank you, Zachary Vogt, helping to produce the video stream. Again, if you're just tuning in, it is available. Just go to the WCCS YouTube channel or search on youtube.com. Purchase line at, with the at symbol, the A with the circle, the at symbol. Purchase line at Homer-Center, but no hyphen. It's Homer space Center, and you should be able to find the game. I know our good friend Dennis Mester's probably doing that, and he can let me know if that's a way to find it, or Mike Gauncher or whoever's out there. But
yeah.
Ben Schmidt's teeing it up as if we don't have enough to worry about.
There's probably
here.
a few that are getting thrown into the window somewhere.
Ben Schmidt approaches the football, and we are away and running in the second half at the 15-yard line. It is Mello Sanchez trying to get through an opening. Riley Clevenger meets him, and then he gets some help from Anthony Rowland. And purchase line will take over. We'll see if the Wildcats made any defensive adjustments.
You got to hope they did. They're doing a wonderful job on kick coverage, though. That's the third time they've made a tackle down inside the 35, and that's always real pleasant. I think a positive thing. But they will have to make an adjustment. It's a big series right here. The Dragons want to steal the momentum of this half. They're down 10 points. They'd love to score.
So purchase line at, again, their own 33. Third drive they've started at the 33, and to give to Chase Brooks, and Shady McCoy has Chase Brooks, and Shady gets up limping like he turned his ankle, Ward, and he's going to have to come out, and Brennan Mogul in.
Ill afford to lose him. He has just been a tower of strength at that DN position. He's hurting right now. They're going to work on it. I hope it's a cramp more than, but it looks to be an ankle, Mark. You know, it's interesting that they changed up and brought the freshman into quarterback now, and as much success as they were having.
And they're going to toss it to Chase Brooks. He bumps into his own man, and also in that backfield for Homer-Center's that Riley Clevenger it is. And they're going to lose yardage, so after gaining 5, they're going to lose 3 back to the 35-yard line. Again, the number's not painted on the field tonight like they normally are, so we have to really be careful on our spots. The grounds crew, they do such a magnificent job, but with rain, and then they were afraid with the cooler temperatures that the paint wouldn't dry, and black jerseys with white paint all over them, or red pants with red paint or white paint all over them. not going to be very happy, those parents, right? Third down and 8, a fumble, and Brennan Mogul misses a tackle, but the Wildcats recover, and Mason Bell comes in to finish the ball carrier off. That was the quarterback, John Alex, well short of a first down. It'll be 4th down and 5, and Purchase Line's going to send out the punt team, a kind of a disjointed drive for Purchase Line.
You don't quite get it, Mark. They'd been running with Seister taking the direct snaps and just gaining yardage quite well, and decided to go with the freshman under center, and it just did not work well.
Brady Seister, the league's #1 punter, takes the direct snap, and he's thinking about running it, but now he kicks it. It's a short end-over-end kick, and the Wildcats allow it to bounce, and it's going to roll dead at the 20 or 34-yard line. So a gain, or a punt, I should say, of 30 yards, no return.
Big series this time for Homer-Center. If they could go down and punch this in, that gives them a little more comfortable lead, at least 2+ scores. And the way things have been going tonight, you got to have as much as you can get.
So Purchase Line started at their own 33 to open the second half. The Wildcats are going to start at their own 34. They send out the O-line first. Isaiah Bentz, Sage Bernard, Micah Hurd, Vince Taglietti, and Michael Yount. Nick Manzanilla is ill, so he did not get to celebrate senior night. First down and 10. They empty the backfield with 5 receivers. And Schmidt looking to pass. Out pattern. Drew Kaufman hauls it in. Short gain to the 41-yard line, but about 7 yards, and that's the kind of thing that's there all night long. Brady Seister came up to drop him, and they did catch him. They ran that, and then they ran the out and the pump fake and up, and it worked for a touchdown.
Yeah, it sets up so much. The D-backs, if they're going to give them that kind of a cushion, you keep taking that, and then as they cheat up a little bit, you do a little hitch fake, and you're gone. And with Ben, another nice, easy throw out there. He didn't try to force it, didn't try to overpass. Easy catch, nice job.
Second down, 3 to go after the 7-yard gain. Colin Troop in the backfield, and they hand it to him. Nice cut, and he has a first down up to the 45-yard line. On the tackle for Purchase Line is A.J. Chambers in there defensively. Not listed as a starter. Well, he's actually listed on the 2 deep at the cornerback position, and he's in there making that tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 Homer-Center at their own 45-yard line. Ball on the left hash as we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Relationship banking, one customer at a time. S&T Bank, the Wildcats operating right to left as we look through the glare of the windows here tonight.
Nice backside cut there by Colin Troop. I'm saying he's going to be a good runner.
And they fake it to him, and Ben smothered in his own backfield, and he's tripped up. He tried escaping, and he couldn't do it. And they're going to lose a big chunk of yardage back beyond inside the 40-yard line. Logan McCracken on the tackle. That's a loss of 7, so that's the second negative play for Ben Schmidt tonight, and you just don't see a lot of that.
Should have gave the line some capes there because they looked like matadors that time. The Dragons just went right by them. I remember at least 3 or 4 in the backfield. Nobody touched, and then they kind of jammed it up so Ben couldn't get away.
So Homer-Center entering the game, they had 12 negative plays. How about that stat, Jerry? I bet that's one you don't have. They've had a couple tonight, and Ben wants to keep it. Up the middle, gets a block, hurdles over a tackler on the feet at the 50, the 40, and he's dragged down at the 36-yard line by Mello Sanchez. And let's see if that's enough to move Ben past Ian Lee as he limps back to the huddle. 12, let's see where they're going to put it down at the 27-yard gain, and he has just moved past Ian Lee into second place all time.
Yeah, he got a nice low tackle by Sanchez, and it kind of gave Ben a little bit of pain there. He might have got an ankle twisted a little bit. He's flexing his knee. I don't know which, but that was a good tackle, and it hurt him.
112 yards rushing for Ben. And the handoff, and Colin Troop is tackled at the line of scrimmage by Isaac Huey. You know what, Jerry? Yep, that 7-yard loss, I forgot. That is my bad.
but we'll just leave it alone because I have a feeling he's going to pass Ian Lee.
He's going to get 7 more yards somewhere down here.
If he doesn't, that will not be good news for Homer-Center.
No, his leg's bothering him a little bit, so he keeps flexing it. So we'll see.
2nd down and 10, Mock in motion behind the formation, and he takes the direct snap. Pocket closes. He's going to throw deep downfield, and it's out there, and it's jump ball, and it's deflected away from Mock. And let's see who that is. Andrew Beer, I think, on the coverage for Purchase Line down around the 7 or 8 yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 10, and there's a flag on the play way back upfield, and where that flag is lying, it's usually not good news for the offense.
Probably a hold.
It is holding.
Watch how they mark this one off now. They're going from the line of scrimmage.
So.
All right, there's 5.
And it's 10,
go.
yeah.
I didn't put it down yet.
It's true.
Well, the other.
From the spot of the foul, right? So they're still talking. One of the officials, Andy Brom, has the yard marker back at midfield.
Well, it's a 10-yard penalty, and that they took it from scrimmage, so it's not at the point of the foul, apparently.
2nd down and 20. The football at the Purchase Line, 45-yard line. Sidecars left and right. Schmidt looking, throwing over the middle for that is Shady McCoy. Takes it in stride at the 35 to the 30 to about the 25-yard line, where Mello Sanchez drags him down close to a 1st down if he doesn't have it. That was a great job as Shady had to reach out, and he hauled it in one-handed, didn't he, Ward?
Great catch. That was a great catch. He went up high, knocked it down with his right arm, and cradled it. Coach Page is helping the officials spot that ball.
They're going to bring the chains in for a measurement. We'll step out. 6:36 to play in the 3rd quarter. IRMC High School Sports Night coverage continues. 22-12 Homer-Center. Back after this.
Schmidt to McCoy gets enough for a Wildcat 1st down. The ball will be spotted right at the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats.
It is enough for a 1st down, so the Wildcats will have it at the Purchase Line 25-yard line. A reminder that the video stream is up and running. They're hardwired now, so we should be solid. Go to the WCCS YouTube channel, or you can search on YouTube, Purchase Line at Homer-Center, no hyphen, Purchase Line at Homer-Center. Ben Schmidt flushed out of the pocket, runs near side to the 25 to the 20, and he's forced out of bounds. And he's done so by A.J. Chambers, as Ben delivered a little bit of the blow, and it's going to be close to another 1st down. Schmidt has passed Ian Lee tonight. Ian finished his outstanding career with 2,879 yards. Ben Schmidt approaching 2,900. And the next target, Ward, is Jesse Lee.
Yep.
There's going to bring the chains in again, so we're going to step out again with 6:08 to play in the 3rd. Another measurement, 22-12, Homer-Center over Purchase Line on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Down and 10 from the 15. Schmidt on the read option, going to keep it up the left sideline. Did he get into the end zone? He did. Touchdown, Homer-Center Wildcats. Ben Schmidt, his 3rd. of the night, and with 6:01 left in the third quarter, Homer-Center has opened it up to a 16-point advantage, 28-12. Ben Schmidt. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. And you know what he does so well is hold that ball to the last second. The entire Red Dragon defense influenced was to the run of Colin Troop, who didn't have the ball. Ben held it. Troop took off. The defense watched him, and then Ben just broke to the wing. He was wide open.
Shady McCoy, who played a big part in that drive, the long snapper, and the snap is put down by Drew Kaufman, and Ben Schmidt's kick, not a thing of beauty, but it is good. Teams come upfield, 6:01 remaining in the third quarter. Hopefully you're watching now and listening. You can find the video stream on the YouTube channel, WCCS YouTube channel, and also you can search purchase line at, using the at symbol, at Homer-Center, no hyphen, purchase line at Homer-Center, and you should find our stream. 8 plays, 66 yards, took 347. Homer-Center with some insurance, brought to you by Walbeck Insurance. 29-12 Wildcats on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Action with Homer-Center leading 29-12 on an Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. 44 yards.
This is the fear you have when you play these guys. I don't know if there's an answer. Homer's defense is just showing signs that they just cannot stop this offense, similar to what Penn's Manor was doing. So once again, Homer's O is going to have to possess the ball and try to use the clock a little bit when they do drive down and score.
Well, though that's not really their forte.
No, they're
either.
a big play team as well, and that's the problem with that. Is you give the other team the ball back and they go down and score, and they're waiting for you to have a breakdown. So.
Ward, I have another stat that Jerry Ross, we're going to bring him along as a stat keeper, but I have something, Jerry, remind me after this kickoff that'll blow you away, okay? It doesn't include tonight's game, but it's probably holding true. There's a little squib kick, and it's taken on a big hop by Shane McCoy, who comes near sideline and cradling that football and trying to hang on to it, and he does. He gets over the 40, up to about the 42-yard line. That was a scary moment because against Penn's Manor, back-to-back kickoffs were not covered by Homer-Center. Isaac Huey with the tackle, and there's a flag on the play too. Jerry, you ready for this stat? So, Homer-Center entering the game, 24 drives, methodical drives of 10-plus plays, or explosive drives that average 10 yards per play. You ready for this, Ward? You got that?
Yeah, I'm trying to watch.
Explosive plays, drives that average 10-plus yards per play. Homer-Center with 22 of them. Methodical drives of 10-plus plays. This season entering tonight, only 2.
That kind of shoots my theory then, huh? Well, Homer just got a personal foul on that kickoff and lost 15 yards. And so to update everybody, that's not good. That's 28-yard line, 27-yard line.
Homer-Center has turned it over twice, tonight, or 3 times.
3 times.
Mello Sanchez.
Very unusual.
2 interceptions. Well, not really, because they're a -1. They were a -10 last year. 5 turnovers, 3 of them came against Penn's Manor, I think. Ben Schmidt wants to keep it up the middle, runs through a tackle, but Chase Brooks hangs on for dear life and limits him to 5 yards up to about the 32-yard line. This Wildcat offense averaging 47.3, 237 yards rushing, 174 passing, 415 yards total, which is number 1 in the conference. But the turnovers are a concern, as is the defense.
I was giggling because of the fact that, we got a 6-yard pickup there, and we think that's a ho-hum.
So you want the non-explosive drives is what you're saying.
I'd like to see them continue with 6 yards at a pop here and burn that clock.
2nd down and 4. Schmidt looking to pass. He's going to throw deep downfield, and a man breaking loose, and it is Krajosik hauling it in at the 35 to 30, and guess what? There's another one on the board. A touchdown pass covering 67 yards from Ben Schmidt to Michael Krajosik, and when the defender fell down, it was just a matter if Krajosik could run under it, and he did. Bobbled it momentarily, but regained possession and took it to the house. And with 4:44 to play in the 3rd quarter, Ben Schmidt's at it again. 35-18 Homer-Center. Unbelievable.
This is a track meet. I'm trying to say, hey, let's get back to some sanity here. This is just up and down the field. Ben again just threw that ball out there and let Krajosik run under. Just a thing of beauty. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. He's done it so many times tonight.
Travis Mock hustled on the field late as a protector left. The snap a little soft, but it gets down to Kaufman, and Ben Schmidt's kick catch the right upright. It did. So we're going to come upfield as they're also working with Shady McCoy. Our spotter, Chris Graham, points out. 2 plays, 73 yards, took 50 seconds. We'll add that one to the explosive drive category that I just talked about.
By all means.
36-18 on an Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. I don't know, month or two ago, Ben Schmidt texted me and he approaches the ball. We'll get to it. Squib kick coming near side, picked up and then kicked by Purchase Line, and I think Homer-Center has it right back. Recovering that football on the kick coverage team, getting up off the bottom of the pile is Austin Zenizak, and Purchase Line turns it over on the kickoff. That's something they certainly didn't want to do.
What a big play. What a heartbreaker for the Dragons who need to stay close with this offense. Anything's possible. But, boy, that kick right along the ground, and like you described, Mark, I don't know who that was. Was it Beer?
Austin Zenizak. Brady Seister.
Seister tried to field it. It just went off his leg right toward Homer-Center. Zenizak, Johnny on the spot, jumped on the ball. Big opportunity here for the Cats to extend their lead and maybe take total control here. We got a timeout.
Timeout called by Homer-Center. We're going to keep it right here. I'm going to get back to that text I received from Ben. And basically, I'll just say this. He was very complimentary of our broadcast. And I told him in the text response what an honor it's been as the play-by-play man for Homer-Center Sports all these years, but particularly these last 4 years, covering him. I mean, what we have witnessed this year, last year, dating back to his freshman season when, he wasn't the explosive player then as a freshman, but he did what he had to do to manage the team with all that talent around him. Now he's chasing one of those guys that I'm referring to, Jesse Lee, for the all-time rushing lead. But I mean it sincerely. And I don't mean to just single out Ben, because you're not successful without good players around you. And the Homer-Center's had a lot of good players around him. But it's been an honor, really, to follow his career. I mean, boy, he made me forget his brother Nick, who's to my right, in a hurry.
Well, Nick's probably his biggest supporter. And, I'm like, son Michael always has been keeping tabs on both of these guys when they played, and he still always asks how Ben's doing. And I said, he went way by you, Mike.
Well, he has a realistic chance. And let's face it, if he doesn't play on half a leg the second half of last season, he's already the school's all-time leading rusher.
That did show you the value of Ben, because he'd come out of those games, they were ahead, and when he couldn't play anymore, they ended up losing.
The dominance of him, and Jesse Lee was a dominating player.
Yeah.
To potentially walk out as the school's all-time leading rusher and passer, unbelievable. And he's going to load up and throw another home run ball. As I sing his praises, he nearly throws an interception to Andrew Beer. That one, he was going for the downs again to Michael Krajosik. By the way, Coach Page calls Michael Krajosik the fastest player on the team.
Yeah, and that says a lot, because they got some fast people out there. But, again, Homer's trying to get that next score here. I think that gives them pretty good cushion going into the fourth quarter. That's what they're looking at.
2nd down and 10, read option. He hands it off to Colin Troop. And Colin bangs his way inside the 35 down to about the 32-yard line. On the tackle, Isaac Huey for the Purchase Line Red Dragons. 4:23 remaining in this third quarter. Again, the video stream up and running on Hardline Internet. Thank goodness for that. I think they have multiple cameras running. And Nick Schmidt, who I was kidding about earlier, who was a heck of a player, he was a receiver, caught a few of his brother's passes. He's running the video stream as far as the producer end of things. And you can go to the WCCS YouTube channel to find it, or search on YouTube, Purchase Line Homer-Center, Purchase Line at Homer-Center. Schmidt up the middle, breaks a tackle on his feet at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Ben Schmidt. Unbelievable. The performance that Ben Schmidt is putting on here again tonight, it's something to behold, and it's 42-18 as Homer-Center makes Purchase Line pay for the special teams miscue.
That's the very thing you were talking about, Mark. Guys are good, and then there are guys that are great, and he was able to take that play, which is a standard play, read option play, and boom, he's gone. And we've seen that so much this year. The interesting thing is, this year, he's rarely off the field. He kicks off. He does everything.
Snap a little bit low, but it's put down by Drew Kaufman, who did an outstanding job. And Schmidt's kick is up, and Schmidt's kick is good. Does he have his fingerprint in every point tonight like he did last year when it was all 44? We'll figure it out during the break. Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night continues with the score. Homer-Center 43, Purchase Line 18 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Covered Ellick, the quarterback again, and jumping on that fumble was Isaac Huey. They had Josh Seister as a receiver to the left, I believe, or maybe he just it went in motion away from the formation. I'm not sure, but he came in from the far sideline. And that fumble recovery by Purchase Line moves the football back to the 45-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 7.
It's tough since they came out using Ellick under center, and they had been going with the direct snap to Seister for the first half and had great success.
Sanchez in motion, takes the pitch, uses a stiff arm on Riley Clevenger and moves up the left sideline, breaks a tackle. Guess what? 30, 20. Ben Schmidt trying to catch him, can't do it. Melo Sanchez takes it 55 yards for a touchdown. Riley Clevenger had a shot at him in the backfield, and he ran through that tackle using a stiff arm. Nicely done by Melo Sanchez, the junior. That's his first rushing touchdown of the season. He's an outstanding athlete, and it's 43-24 as we go crazy again on the scoreboard.
Well, you know, all credit to the Penn's Purchase Line offense, but hardcore Homer fans cannot be happy with this. This is not Homer-Center football. This defense is just giving up way too many big plays, not only tonight but all year.
Ellick under center, the freshman quarterback. They'll go for 2, and they pitch it to Josh Seister. They try holding him out of the end zone. That's no, they can't do it. He's in for the 2-point conversion. Vinny Taglietti had a crack at him, couldn't hold him out. Seister's just so strong, and this 2-point conversion is good. So 2:05 left in the in the third quarter, I should say. Now the officials are conferring because one said good, the other one said no good. So we'll hold it here and see what the outcome of this is.
How hard can that be?
We can tell you the Colonial Motor Mart, Colonial Toyota Drive summary. 3 plays, 58 yards. It took a minute 32.
I'll be darned. They just declined. They said it was not good.
Okay.
So they got it right, I guess.
I'm not sure if they did or not. I'm pretty far away from it, but Vinny Tagliadio will get credited with the tackle. Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night coverage continues with the score. Homer-Center 43, Purchase Line 24 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Onside kick attempt as we come back. It's recovered by Mason Bell. So Homer-Center will start, let's see, at their own 49-yard line. Ward with 2:04 left here in the third quarter.
I'm sure they were aware of the Wildcats' inability to field some good kickoffs. That time, a little trickery. They all ran up toward the ball. Then they were looking as if they were going back to line up normally. But then they came on rushing again, and he had that little kick. But Mason made the grab and fell on the ball, so Homer's in good shape.
Timeout.
I don't know what's going on.
They want the play clock reset is the issue.
Oh, I see. I don't know who controls that.
That's up here.
Oh.
Schmidt from the shotgun, fakes it to Troop, throws out in the flat to Mock. Mock, little jump cut at midfield, comes near side, has running room down the left sideline to the 40, 35-30, and he's tackled out of bounds, and there's going to be a late hit on Purchase Line at about the 28 or 27-yard line. Vinny Scott coming across to make the tackle, and I think Vinny's momentum carried him and Mock out of bounds.
Yeah,
the bleachers, and you have to be dangerous. That's dangerous.
He's easy 3 yards out and was tackled. Easy call for the official there. And that's not what the Red Dragons needed at this point. They got a little momentum back with that big run by Sanchez. That steals it away right there.
Where are they going to mark that ball down to? Where the pass covering how many yards, Jer?
Just a simple little flare out into the flat. Mock made a beautiful cut, faked out the one defender, and then picked up another 10 or 15, and then they got 15 on top of it.
So the football down to the 13-yard line, ball on the left hash, and Schmidt looking to pass. Slant in pattern thrown beautifully, but dropped not so beautifully by Michael Krajosik. Michael would like to have that one back.
I think a lot of times these guys aren't used to running those slants. You run a slant, you expect the linebacker to be standing there ready to cream you, and I think Michael might have took a little peek.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
I think Homer might want to just run this ball a few times and use that last few 152 of the third here and get into that fourth quarter.
Ben Schmidt. And hands it off to Troop. You're going to lose yardage. One player they were hoping to develop, by the way, Clayton Patrick on that tackle, and get involved in the offense more this week, Ward. And actually some special sets for him was Cole McAnulty. But Cole missed a couple of days or 3 days of practice due to illness.
Yeah, he's another one I like. You see a lot of things in a run, or at least I do anyway, that I think really tell you that they're going to be special. Calling troops one. He's got all the skills the running back needs.
3rd down and 12 from the 15-yard line. Empty set. Schmidt rolls to his right. Throwing, and it's deflected and then incomplete right at the right pylon, intended for Krajosic. Almost intercepted by, I think that's Andrew Beer. I think Andrew Beer, the left cornerback. So now it'll be 4th down and 12. By the way, Ben Schmidt tonight, yes, he has his fingerprints on every point. 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 5 extra point kicks, and a 2-point conversion run.
Well, Shady McCoy made a liar out of me. There he is. He's out there on the right. He's tight end on the right side.
From the Red Dragon 15-yard line, 4th down and 12 for Homer-Center, and a timeout called by the Wildcats. With 1:06 left in the 3rd quarter, we'll pause for 30. On an Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night from our S&T Bank broadcast booth, we peer at the scoreboard. It says Homer-Center 43, Purchase Line 24 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Corner of Lincoln and Harrison, where they've been playing football here since 1955 or so. 75th year of the field, but I think 74th year of usage, because one year, I might go back to about 1986, they crowned the field and did some renovations and played their home games down in Blairsville. Speaking of Blairsville, they're all over West Shamokin. 31-14, and the Bobcats, that'll vault them right into the playoffs.
Yeah, it will. It sure will. West Shamokin really hit the skids here about mid-season.
So 4th down, 12 to go from the Red Dragon 15. They reposition troop from the left to the right of Ben Schmidt. Takes the direct snap. Going to throw for the corner of the end zone. Man breaking, and did he keep his feet in bounds? He did. Touchdown. Let's see who has that football for the Homer-Center Wildcats, but Ben Schmidt has just tossed his 3rd touchdown pass. It is Drew Kaufman for the Homer-Center Wildcats. Hoffman hauls in another one, and it's 49-24. They're right on their average, aren't they? They're over their average. They're going to look for their 50th point with 61 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
How cool is Ben Schmidt? You saw the pressure coming at him. You know, if it was you or me, I'd have been digging a hole out there. He just casually lofted the ball to that corner. He knew the spot he needed, and that's what he did, and he threw it there. I mean, it's just a thing of beauty to watch, Mark.
He's going to attempt his 6th extra point. Snap put down by Kaufman, who just caught the touchdown pass. Where does he get his energy? I said it last year at one point. I think it was during the Purchase Line game. Ben Schmidt, you're wearing me out.
Yeah.
And he's worn my voice out again tonight, I can tell you that.
He's deadly on these PAs, huh?
51 yards. Took him in at 3. We'll just keep it right here. Yeah, coming inward, he was extra point. Michael got the slot machine running in my headset there. Jerry, where's the pizza?
Jing, jing.
He was 13 of 16 coming in. Fans aren't hearing that, or at least I don't think they are. Oh, they are hearing that? Okay. Thank you, Michael, our executive producer, having some fun. I wish Michael could see this young man play. He is something else. The whole team, I mean, the receivers.
Well, they feed off of his energy, as you can see. He's so it's what a leader does, and he is so special out there. And he's humble as you can get. I mean, you can't get him to talk about himself unless you force him to.
And Michael's getting, Michael, it's great exercise for Michael from Studio A to Studio B at the radio station because he has to rack up all the replays and his step meter. Wow.
50 points again.
There's a little bouncing kick, and A.J. Chambers just going to bounce on it at the 32-yard line. And Purchase Line will take over. I started going to one page on my recap sheet per quarter, and for the first time, it's not enough. So, 59 seconds to go.
These games always, I don't know, they turn into track meets, and tonight it's been an aerial circus.
Well, a little bit of both, really, huh?
Yeah, the track meet from Purchase Line and aerial circus here for the Wildcats.
Although Schmidt has 4 rushing touchdowns
he does
himself.
have 4 runs, too.
We'll update his stats for you after this play. Chase Brooks in motion, and they give on that inside handoff, and Seister this time is tackled by Homer-Center. Good defense by guess who? The guy that Ward Hilliard said would not be coming back into the
limping
game.
out there. That's a tough little boy, that guy.
Shady McCoy on the tackle. So it'll be a loss of a yard back to the 32. It's amazing. Purchase Line has started 4 drives at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, the coverage has been spectacular on the kickoffs, except for one minor breakdown.
Josh Seister, or Andrew Beer it is, near side receiver. John Ellick, the freshman quarterback, in there. And back to pass. Slant in, batted down by Homer-Center, and Shady McCoy one more time. Shady McCoy is becoming the leader on this defense. The Wildcats playing without Justin Walbeck tonight. Also playing without lineman Nick Manzanilla. So those are 2 pretty good football players.
Those are big losses, yeah. And Shady's filling in pretty well, isn't he? He's been doing it all year.
Alec goes under his center, Dylan Bouch, the freshman. So it's a pair of freshmen, center and quarterback, and he throws down the field, batted away at the last second by Drew Kaufman, intended for Josh Seister. Ward, I'm a little bit surprised with 7 seconds left in this third quarter, Homer-Center leading 50-24, that to a degree they've gone away from Seister because Seister from the Wildcat at times, and basically the quarterback was having it his way.
He was having it his way is right. He could pick his gaps, and they're just not giving him the ball now. And
they're going to punt. They have Brady Seister out to punt. The long snappers Isaac Huey, Drew Kaufman, Michael Krajosik stand at about their own 40-yard line, probably the last play of the quarter. Snap is strong, and Seister will kick it. Kind of that rugby-style punter, and he shanks it into the Wildcat bench. And guess who caught it? Shady McCoy batted it away. And he protected a ball boy down there. Shady even does that. So they're going to walk it up the sideline. There's 1 tick on the third quarter clock, so we're not quite done yet. We'll have 1 play. The Wildcats, they put the football down at the 46-yard line. So that's a net punt of 14 yards. Boy, good to have Jerry back.
Boy, I'll say. You're not hurting my feelings. You can tramp all over him, buddy, because this guy can keep stats.
Ward, you'd probably stand on your head to have him come back, right?
No, look at the night here.
Do the whole game on your head.
50-24. You can imagine if it wasn't for Jerry, I'd be screaming.
Your head would be spinning. They show blitz. They hand it off to Colin Troop, and Troop does a good job of just getting back to the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Brock Lloyd, and the third quarter has come to an end. Well, it was a 22-12 lead at the end of the first half. In that quarter, the Wildcats put 28 on the board. Purchase Line, 12. Normally, that's a pretty good number, 12 points, but you're still outscored by 16. From Luxembourg, so it was a long one in the third quarter. We're heading to the fourth. Homer-Center leading 50-24, looking to sew up a first-round bye in the opening of the District 6 playoffs next weekend. Back to Memorial Field after this on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. House backfield, and he's going to fake it and keep it, and he's going to be stopped in his own backfield for the third time tonight. Jace Brooks with the tackle for the Purchase Line Red Dragons.
They might want to.
So as we come back on the radio side, Ben Schmidt loses a yard back to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 11 for Homer-Center. Opening minute of this fourth quarter with the Wildcats leading 50-24.
Interesting formation here, Mark.
Yeah, Brennan Mogul and Brock Hauser in the backfield, and Ben going to keep it to the 45, to the 40, and he's still on his feet at the 30, fighting for yardage. Melo Sanchez has him, as does Batten, but not before Ben Schmidt down to about the 26-yard line, and they move the chains again. Ben Schmidt tonight, before that carry, 174 yards. That should put him over 200, I would think, pretty close to it.
That was close to student body right as you're going to get.
And it's the same formation. Maybe this is the coaching staff's answer to all of your constant, persistent, consistent whining about a power I formation that I have no idea why anybody would want that.
He would go under center to a traditional power I.
201 yards rushing for Ben. Well, this is their version of a different look. So there you go, whining again. The give to Travis Mock, as I use Ward as my punching bag. On this tackle, Vinny Scott of the Purchase Line Red Dragons. Homer-Center leading 50-24. Anything else you want to cry and moan about?
Nah, I'm sure Travis is crying about that blocking
I suppose
down there.
your sandwich wasn't big enough last week, I suppose.
It was way big enough, trust me.
Did you have a good trip to Lancaster?
Yes, we did.
Good.
It was nice to see.
Did you drive?
Yes, I did.
How's the fall foliage?
It was beautiful.
Good.
Kind of
good.
going away now. Most
That's
of it seems to be laying in my yard.
It's kind of analytical stuff I like to hear out of you. Here we go, 2nd down and 14 from the Red Dragon 28. Sidecar left is Colin Troop. Ben Schmidt, slanted pattern. Kaufman takes it. Kaufman breaks a tackle, sidesteps another tackle, and into the end zone for a touchdown. From 28 yards out, Ben Schmidt has thrown his 4th touchdown pass to match his 4 rushing touchdowns, and he'll attempt another extra point. And with 9:50 to play in the fourth quarter, it's 56-24. Ben Schmidt is unstoppable.
This is at this level, this is a passing offense you just don't see very often, and Homer is doing it beautifully. Drew Kaufman, Ben's brother Nick here is saying that he may be the best in the conference, and he may be right.
And Kaufman puts the snap down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good from Schmidt. That's his 7th extra point as it caught that left upright, and the teams come upfield. 9:50 to play. Do we have enough time for all of the exciting radio replays? We'll be on the air until 1 a.m.
No, we won't.
Stick with us. Cash register's ringing. 57-24. The Wildcats behind Ben Schmidt cash in for some more
the bell's
on the
cracking.
WCCS Wildcat Football Network. For Drew Kaufman. For the season, he has 9. Ben Schmidt approaches the ball. Good, strong kick. Backs, well, now they blow it dead before it gets underway. It was a good, strong kick. I had that part of it right, but what's the illegal procedure, the call on Homer-Center? Frank Garetano down in Mrs. Renowski's yard. calling that one. The referee way down there, isn't he, Frank?
He's about as far down there as you can get. He's on the goal line.
So they're going to back it up to the 35.
Maybe his car's down there.
Homer-Center word, it'll be Blairsville's going to play next week. They lead 38-20, so they're going to be in the opening round of the playoffs. Homer-Center, what a shame if those two rivals don't play each other. Guess when the last time that's happened? I happen to have that information. End-over-end kick, and it's taken at the 21-yard line, and Melo Sanchez, right sideline return, picking his way for some yardage, and Anthony Rowland drags him down as he approaches the 40-yard line. The last time those two teams haven't played dates back to 1951. It's the longest-running rivalry for Homer-Center, all the way back to 1923. They've played 69 straight seasons, sometimes more than one game per season, with the playoffs coming.
Why didn't they play in 51?
I don't know. I was not around. I thought you'd know. You were already
I was 3 years old, but I didn't read a lot of the paper then. I was still learning to walk.
I don't think they had internet back then.
I was 3 years old in 1951. There's people laughing here.
Motion behind the formation's Isaac Huey, and they hand it off up the middle. It's not Josh Seister with the ball. It is, let's see, who has that football? Might be Chase Brooks. A gain of about 3. Is that Brooks, Travis, our public address announcer? Yep, Chase Brooks. So, gain of a couple from one side of the 40 to the other. Ball at the 41-yard line. Near side receiver is Gabe Lamer, a senior. And they toss it to Seister. Nothing inside, so he bounces it outside, but the Wildcats have it pretty well defensed. See on the far side of the field who made that tackle for Homer-Center. It was Aiden Bikina. Aiden Bikina, another promising young lineman, a sophomore, 6'1", 227. Go ahead, you can grab that if you need it.
Yeah, I just wanted to check a number here.
Caden Brown out. Caden, I had a chance to talk to him the other day as he was walking home from practice. Nice young man, and he's really been a find for this team. 3rd down, 7 to go. Toss left. Chase Brooks with the football, cuts it up. Good patient running, and has a first down to midfield. Dragged down from behind by Brock Hauser, inside linebacker. And it'll be enough to move the chains for the Red Dragons as they nudge their way into Homer-Center territory to the 49-yard line. Bryson Graham in there defensively at an inside backer position.
His dad here, and he's in there playing now.
Josh Seister, toss right. The pitch a little bit high from Ellick, but Josh handles it around the corner and steps out of bounds on the far sideline, but not before he picks up 14 or 15 yards. Brock Hauser again on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats.
Yeah, like you, I don't know why they factored him out of that offense. And, he is definitely all that he was advertised as far as I'm concerned. He is a spectacular runner.
So Drew Kaufman on the receiving end of the 3 touchdown passes from Schmidt. Or 3 of the 4, I should say. Chase Brooks gets the football on the rush and cuts it up. Gets to the 30-yard line. Be about 3 or 4 yards shy. Bryson Graham also on that tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. The senior, they list him at 6'1", 212 pounds. Bigger than his dad. Maybe not formerly, but now.
I don't know.
Alec rolls to his right. Looking, pressured. Now comes near side. Dumps it off, has a receiver, Brooks. Brooks sidesteps the tackle of Michael Krajosik, and it's dragged down by Anthony Rowland at about the 22-yard line. It'll be good for a first down.
Great play by Rowland. He was the last line of defense there. If he gets by Rowland, it's a touchdown. He made a good, sure tackle in the open field. That's what you like to see from those D-backs. Nice job by Ellick as well, escaping the rush.
Mike Goncher, our good friend, said he can bring you an adult drink or two to keep you here till 1 a.m. He can make it down here.
Probably going to need it.
Josh Seister gets around the right end to the 20 to the 15, gets a block at the 10, breaks another tackle, finally forced out of bounds, and the Red Dragons are going to have a 1st and goal And normally, Word, when you're scoring 24, threatening to go over 30, it's going to be good enough to win a game. And is there a flag, I think, that came in late, too, at the 5-yard line? And we'll see what this penalty is all about. It's on Homer-Center.
That'll move it half the distance inside the 3. Yeah, Seister, I'm very impressed. I like the way he runs, his acceleration, his ability to make people miss. He's got all those skills.
208 yards rushing on 17 totes for Seister. Quick stats brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. He's in motion behind the formation, but they give it up the middle, and Chase Brooks into the end zone for a Purchase Line Red Dragon touchdown with 6:58 to play in the football game. It's now Homer-Center 57 and Purchase Line 30. The Red Dragons, they're not going to quit. They're going to battle to the end.
Yep. Can expect another onside kick going here.
3-yard touchdown run for Brooks.
We were 2 points short of running the clock.
And they're going to go for 2. Isaac Huey in the backfield. Wingman to the left is Josh Seister. He's in motion, and they flip it to him, and he's up the middle into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And Purchase Line has 32 on the board. What else would we expect, right, between these two teams? A high-scoring affair. Homer-Center's beat them 3 times when they've both scored in the 40s. Tonight, Homer-Center has 57 on the board. And Purchase Line 32 as the teams come upfield on an Indiana Regional Medical Center high school sports night. It's Homer-Center 57, Purchase Line 32, as we play some arena football here at Memorial Field on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. In case you're wondering, and I'm sure you are, the most points scored in this series, which dates back to 1955, 92. That was in 2016, a 48-44 Homer-Center victory.
I believe they're going to eclipse that.
Is the record safe?
No. They're going to eclipse. That's only 3 points. They're shy of where they're at now.
I was kind of being sarcastic.
Oh. Where's the onside?
Onside kick, and Mason Bell
again.
Same place, 49-yard line.
That's not easy to do, folks. When you got 10 guys coming right at you, you got to catch the ball. You know you're going to get buried. He hung on.
So the Wildcats, let's see if it's still Ben Schmidt at quarterback. Cole McInaldi looks like he's going to take over.
Yeah. Good. I enjoyed watching him last week, and he's got some special skills too. 2 very good talents back there with McInaldi and Troop.
And Cole from the shotgun takes the direct snap, hands it off to Troop. Troop hit right near midfield, and they push him back. He'll gain a yard to the 50, pushed back defensively by Clayton Patrick. Word one thing, both teams really, but we cover Homer-Center all season long. You can talk about this explosive offense, but you can't generally win in the playoffs against good teams.
No.
Getting gouged defensively.
No, you can't. You're not going to put these kind of numbers up against the top level teams. And Homer did it against Penns Manor, but it's not an easy thing to do. And as you get deeper in, you're going to run into teams that can play really decent defense and really make it tough on you.
Justin Walbeck's return will help. The give to, I think that's Troop again. They'll back them up as we reach the halfway point of this fourth quarter, 57-32. Clayton Patrick again on the stop.
I think you agree, Mark, the 2 district titles Homer won was won because they played such good, solid defense start to finish. They beat Guilfoyle both times, and it took that to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I would say that the 2013 defense was probably the better defense.
I think Nick here is not going to agree with you.
He can't remember that far back. 3rd down and 2, and Cole wants to keep it, and he tries running through the tackle of Thomas Batten, and Batten says, I'm going to batten down the hatches. And so Cole's going down.
Yeah, he fumbled the exchange there, the snap, and that killed the whole momentum.
So they lose yardage back to the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 19, and a rare sighting at Memorial Field. The punt team trots on the field.
First time, isn't it?
Yep, in about a month. Back to receive the punt is Melo Sanchez, the speedster. Good athlete, good basketball player. And it's going to be Michael Krajosik punting. He's been stuck on 3 punts and a 33-yard average for a few weeks. And he gets the kick away. And it's going to hit at the 40 and take a favorable Homer-Center bounce inside the 30, inside the 25. And they're going to touch it down, Anthony Rowland. 38-yard punt and no return. And we have a media timeout. We'll take our final timeout with 4:26 left in the football game. Purchase Line going to go back to work on offense. 57-32 Homer-Center on the WCCS Wildcat. We'll start this drive at their own 23-yard line with 4:26 to play in the game. 23-yard line, the line of scrimmage. And let's see who has that football around the right side in 10, 12 yards again. It is Josh Seister, and the quarterback, John Alec, out there helping to lead the way.
Yeah, it's just a straight pitch. Used to run that as a 28 pitch back in my day. I don't think they call it that anymore, I'm sure.
Basin Bell on the tackle, ball on the right hash as we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Red Dragons coming at us from right to left, and Chase Brooks into the secondary to midfield to the 45 to the 40. Anthony Rowland giving chase, and he tackles him at the 25-yard line. And more running room. I'm looking to see if it's a younger defense, and it's not. For Homer-Center.
There's some younger play, but the front line's still in there.
41-yard gain for Chase Brooks.
No, I check it out. No, it's not. It's the first team defense, which is played like a younger defense tonight.
And toss right to Seister. Seister, they miss him in the backfield. He's around the right end and fighting for yardage, runs through an Anthony Rowland tackle and into the end zone for a touchdown of 25 yards. This Wildcat defense is about as porous as we have seen from a Homer-Center unit in many, many years. At least right now, these last 3 games, and it's 57-38 with 3:55 remaining in the football game. If they don't shore that up, Ward, it will be a short playoff run.
Well, the ends are getting sealed too much. They're just getting the teams that have been getting to the edge way too easily, I think. And I don't know what the answer is, but they've had great defensive ends in the past.
Alec under center, pitch left, and that's just easy doing. I could have gone into the end zone, and Brady Seister had no problem doing it, certainly. He runs about 22 times faster than I do. And it's 57-40. Well, both teams are 40 or more again, and we have a new record for most points in this series, breaking the record that was set back in 2016, which was 92. It was a 48-44 Homer-Center victory. It's 57-40, and as good as that looks on the scoreboard on the home side, I can't imagine Greg Page and the coaching staff are going to be very pleased.
Well, you can't be. When you give up 40 points, you make virtually no stops on that drive.
And that's the first-team defense.
Ben's going back in to receive the kickoff yet. I mean, that's not good when you got 57 on the board and you still got some of your first unit players out there.
Granted,
this is
Justin
be
Walbeck is out, their leading tackler and kind of the heart and soul of the defense, but he's not Superman.
No, he couldn't have. He can't cover the ends. That's got to be done out there.
Colonial Motor Mart, Colonial Toyota Drive Summary, 3 plays, 77 yards. It took 31 seconds. And, if people were upset that we're being brutally honest, that's too bad, right?
Well, we want to see them advance and go on. And I think that's one of the things that I agree. That we've seen playoffs many times. We know what it takes. It takes good defense.
Teeing it up to kickoff, probably an onside kick, Brock Lloyd, and it's a hard squibber, and it's taken by Brendan Mogul nicely at the 42-yard line. And the Wildcats will start there, and let's see if they have to put the first team back out there. And it's a shame if they do, but, it's a 17-point lead. You're, in all likelihood, safe, but
it's 4 minutes. If you give up a touchdown every minute, they only need 3 scores.
Yeah.
And it seems
crazier
like
things have happened.
They run
right?
3 plays, they get a touchdown. Okay, let's go back out again, and Ben's out there. That's a shame, but they've had to go back to the first unit.
Schmidt tonight rushing the football, 203. Is that Jerry? 203 yards rushing. And the snap a bit high, and he's going to keep it. And Ben to the 45 and leans for the 47. John Ellick on the tackle for the Purchase Line Red Dragon. So dangerous to turning it over. Coming close to turning it over there, Ward, but Schmidt handled it and then gained about 5 yards. Rushing Josh Seister tonight, 19 carries, 244 yards. Keep in mind the Red Dragons had 361 yards rushing last year right here and lost 44-40, and they're rolling up some big yardage tonight. Brooks hasn't having a bad night himself. Chase Brooks with 99 yards rushing. So that's 344 right there.
That's a lot of yards.
Schmidt, read option, going to keep it, and they drag him down short of the lead chain with 3 minutes left in the football game.
Cats can get it down to 2 minutes, then I'm sure they can start subbing again.
Jace Brooks on the tackle. Ben Schmidt coming into tonight's game, 2,763 yards rushing in his career. 4,479 yards passing, 7,242 yards of total offense, and he has added, I don't know, Jerry, about 400 yards or so to that total tonight. So he's pushing 8,000 total yards in his career. Not too shabby.
That won't be broken for a while.
3rd down and 4 from their own 48, and Schmidt looking to pass, throws, and short. And short hopping it was the receiver, Drew Kaufman. And let's see what the Wildcats do on 4th and 4 from the 48. They may go for it so they can maybe pick up the first down and then milk the clock. But they're going to send the punt team out, it looks like. It'll be interesting to hear Greg Page on our post-game show, and the coach and also head coach Matt Felisic will join us on the video stream and on the radio. Michael Krajosik, the punter, stands at his own 34-yard line. Snap is true, and he wants to kick it, and he does, and he's going to kick it into the Wildcat bench. He tried that rugby-style kick and it's going to be very short. Line of scrimmage was the 48. It's going to be marked out of bounds at the, let's see here, we'll eye it up, 39-yard line, so that's a 13-yard net punt. So Michael tried that rugby-style kick with not a lot of success.
No, it's looks easier than it is.
You know, Chris Graham, we thank you, buddy, for your spotting tonight. You're going to be with us next week, too, I think.
Oh, great.
And Chris mentioned his senior son out there tonight playing, and I mentioned that he's bigger than Dad. I know he'd take you, right? Out in the old schoolyard, he's going to take you to the house? Yeah? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Here's Ellick, the freshman under center, and he's going to toss it right to Seister. Seister to the 45, runs through a tackle, and Mason Bell drags him down at about the 30-yard line, and a face mask along with it will tack on some yardage. Drew Kaufman, not Mason Bell, was 14 and not 44. I thought wrong spot on my part, but I think Drew got a pretty big chunk of the face mask, and the carry to the 31-yard line.
Seister.
That's 30-yard run.
Came darn close to getting another touchdown, and we still got 2 minutes to go.
I have a feeling they may score again.
The 17-point lead is not comfortable with 2 minutes to go. That tells you something.
Final score, Blairsville beat West Shamokin 38-20. And there's a flag on the play. And with the football, it was Mello Sanchez. You know, Purchase Line, they have some interesting weapons, Ward, with, I think, trying to unlock the combination. Caden Brown on the tackle. You have Sanchez. You have the Seister cousins, Josh Seister, Brady Seister, Jace Brooks, Mello Sanchez, the freshman quarterback, Isaac Huey. I mean, there's some pieces to a pretty successful puzzle there.
Very similar to Penn's Manor in that regard. They've got a series of good runners. That was a motion penalty, by the way, which normally would kill a drive, but tonight, don't forget it.
Football marked back to the 21-yard line. Brady Seister in motion, but they hand it off up the middle, and Chase Brooks, it's Chase Brooks, tackled by
Huey.
Michael, or I'm sorry, I had it right the first time. I was going to say Isaac Huey. Michael Yunt on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. Couple of yards on that carry inside the 20 to the 19. Ball near the center of the field favoring the near side hash as we view it from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Relationship banking, one customer at a time. Not sure if our esteemed statistician Jerry has a score from Northern. It was Penn's Manor up early. Ellick looking to pass, throws, and it's all batted away by Ben Schmidt, intended in the end zone. Is that Andrew Beer? It's hard to say 26 or 28.
Yeah, it's probably Beer.
Yeah, I think so. But Ben Schmidt knocked it down. Pretty strong throw into some coverage, but the freshman Ellick will learn.
Ben should have had that. He hasn't done enough. He should have had interception.
A 100-yard interception return would have just capped it off, right? Motion man is Sanchez, and they flip it to him. He's trying to turn the corner. Is he hit? Yes, and he's dropped right in his tracks by Drew Kaufman.
Good tackle. Good open field tackle. You love to see
We're
that.
under a minute to play in the football game. Before we get to radio replays, I promised Matt Felisic, the head coach of the Red Dragons, that we would get to him as soon as we could. He likes the dark alley to be with the team, you know, when they depart or be close behind them. I don't think Matt's a real big fan here of this walk. 4th down and long, and Ellick rolls to his right, throws a wobbler, and it's hauled in as a flag comes in behind the play, and Huey up the right sideline trying to bang his way inside the end zone. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 1-yard line, but a holding penalty against Homer-Center, actually, says Frank Garetano, is not going to wipe it off. It's, do we have an injury too? Trainer Bob Rupert was jogging out onto the field. Now he's back to the sideline.
Looks like Krajosik was shaken up, but
Ben Schmidt was
Oh,
down.
jeez.
That's not that would be
I
a
would
key.
say
That would be
get him
classified
off
as
the
a
field.
key injury, right? Holding penalty. They'll decline that. It'll be first and goal with 17 seconds on the clock as this arena football game continues. Homer-Center with 57 on the board. That's like Hines 57. They're trying to allow Purchase Line to catch up.
Yeah, they're going to. Oh, that's a chuckle, yeah.
First and goal, Alec, quarterback keeper, behind his big center, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. The center, Dylan Bouch, a fellow freshman, and John Alec has his first rushing touchdown of his career. And Purchase Line has 46 on the board. It's 47-46 with 14 seconds left.
Mark.
Or 57-46.
Yeah, people panicking.
Oh, boy. 57-46 with 14 seconds left.
Well, what's going to happen on the kickoff? They can't lose this, can they?
I don't know what the
They
coaching
get
staff.
two, that's 48.
Coaching staffs for both
no,
teams.
They can't get 9 points.
Coaching staffs for both teams are going to be scratching their heads with the defense. Alec, he goes under center, and he's back to pass, and he's throwing and has a receiver on the slant in, and that receiver is Dylan Overman for the 2-point conversion, and it's 57-48. I wonder how many games Purchase Line has lost in their history when they've scored 48 points or more.
I don't know any team that could probably go back and say, oh, he scored 48 and lost.
So, Jerry will give us the drive summary. 6 plays, 61 yards.
Jerry's
it
going
took
through
a
2
minute
pens.
55. Jerry, are you enjoying your triumphant return?
Thank goodness he's back.
Running out of ink.
Yeah,
Our studio engineer, our executive producer of Wildcat Sports, Michael Burdick, saying it's like a Big 12 football game.
Yeah.
I say like arena football.
Arena's better.
We'll keep it
That's
here.
the realistic score in arena.
So, Homer-Center, where'd you have a decision to make? Well, they're not going to be able to play Blairsville because Blairsville, with their win, they could play Blairsville if both teams get eliminated from the playoffs. But the Wildcats, here's what's interesting. The Wildcats are going to earn a first-round bye.
Right.
Penns Manor, no matter what they do tonight, and they were winning, probably have won already. They're probably home in bed by now. And also,
I envy them.
Portage, they were maybe an underdog against a very good Berlin team.
Yeah, I never know that.
Even a loss, they're going to stay in the top 4. Here's an onside kick. Will it go 10 yards? They touched it before it went 10 yards, so that's going to be Homer-Center ball with still 14 seconds on the clock. Well, that was pretty clear. So Homer-Center will be able to take a knee. Both coaches will join us on the postgame show. Conemaugh Valley will play tomorrow.
Yep.
I can't remember who they're playing. It's a non-Westpac team. I think it may be Freedom or somebody like that. I can look it up, I guess. But if they win, they're going to maintain a top 4 position. So, Bishop Guilfoyle in quarantine thanks to not a major COVID breakout, but a breakout that shut down their program. The Altoona Mirror article says until next Sunday. Bishop Guilfoyle is the 5th seed. They would be scheduled to play next weekend. If they cannot play due to that quarantine, unless some rules are changed, which they shouldn't be, they're going to forfeit out of the District 6 playoffs. Chris Graham's going to look up that Conemaugh Valley opponent,
huge,
I think.
buddy.
Is that what you're doing, buddy? Yep. And they take a 5-yard, or what they do. I was looking at Chris.
I don't
they
know.
took a knee. It doesn't
they took
matter.
a knee, yeah.
The game is over, mercifully. Quite a performance by Ben Schmidt. He passes for 4, he rushes for 4, he kicks 7 extra points and runs for a 2-point conversion. And Homer-Center wins it 57-48. Stay with us for our First Commonwealth Bank postgame show. We have some radio replays. We're going to have interviews with both coaches and probably be extended, much like the game. We'll have Chris, if you would, take the radio, which is off, Chris, and this is also off. That'll need flicked on when we're ready to go. So Chris Graham will take that down. We'll do our interviews with distancing in mind. All right, we're going to break. Final score here tonight. Homer-Center 57, Purchase Line 48. We'll talk to both coaches. We'll get to radio replays and some big numbers as the teams exchange handshakes. I like that. You're banging each other on the field. Why are you going to wave from 20 yards apart after the game? Finally, some sense. Dr. Fauci, take that.
You're trying to
how many mistakes can that guy
overanalyze.
make, too, Dr. Fauci? But anyway, coming back, 57-48. Homer-Center improves to 4-1. Purchase line drops to 2-4. They're still going to be playoff bound. Coming back to recap it for you and coaches interviews on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Homer City. Wildcats win it 57-48. We're going to have head coach Matt Felisic joining us first. We're going to see if we can get Ben Schmidt as well on our post-game show. And Coach Felisic joining us on the post-game show. Coach, see if you can. Are you reading me, Coach, down on the field? All right. You might leave one ear kind of off. You might be a slight delay, which could bother you, but we'll get it to work here, and we'll see if
I can hear you.
All right. Head coach Matt Felisic joining us on our first Commonwealth Bank post-game show. Coach, we spoke earlier today for the pregame, and you talked about Ben Schmidt, last year's plan. Throw it out. You were going to try something new. You worked on it all week. I guess we're going to throw that plan out, right? It was some spectacular performance.
Yeah, we can throw that one out as well. The kids just exceptional, and there's no way of explaining what he can do on the field. I told Coach Page here I thought we had pretty good coverage on their touchdown passes, and he puts it where nobody else can. So he's a great athlete, and he keeps that team going.
Coach, I said toward the end of the game, I can't believe I don't have any facts to back this up, but I can't believe that the Purchase Line football program has ever lost a game in your history when you've scored 48 points.
That's what happens when Purchase Line plays Homer City. I said if they score 80, we need to score right with them, and obviously we couldn't keep up with them. But, our kids played hard right up to the end, and they wanted to keep going. But unfortunately, the 48 minutes was up. I'm proud of how they played tonight. You talked about an interception last year when we did the pregame interview. Mm-hmm. You got an early interception from Mello, first of a couple. For him, they actually turned it over 3 times. Might have been a little bit different if you take advantage of that first one especially. Yeah, definitely. And that's one thing we said, force a stop. We got the stop, and I think we ended up punting on that drive. And, I'll take the blame for that. But our offense was doing a pretty good job, and then here in the last 6 minutes we scored a couple times. And I know they had a couple JVs in, but our kids want to keep playing. We got playoffs starting next Friday, and we got to get ready.
Josh Seister tonight, we spoke about I enjoy watching outstanding players, and he is in that mold too. 274 yards rushing tonight for Josh Seister, and I think that may take him over 1,000 for the season. Yes, it does. So a spectacular performance from your guy, too.
Yeah, he ran the ball well. I wish I would have got him the ball more often. And he, line was blocking great up front. Didn't have to pass too much, which is a Purchase Line mold. But he did put on a show tonight as well. Unfortunately, Schmidt put on a little better show. But he's a quarterback, and he holds the ball every down. So, credit our offensive line, and Josh, like I said, performed well.
I did want to ask you in the second half, there almost seemed to be a semi-shift in philosophy with, Alec being inserted at quarterback. Josh Seister took a lot of the snaps, if not all of them, in the first half. Talk about that change a little bit.
Well, we went into halftime, and, they were adjusting to what we were doing in the first half. Josh was still making some nice runs and breaking them up through. And then at halftime, we thought go back to our normal offensive look and see what would happen. I think the first time Josh ran the ball, he went 50 yards or something for a touchdown out of that formation. So we were moving the ball pretty much any formation we were in. We just couldn't stop them, unfortunately.
Well, playoffs are going to start next weekend. You're going to be in the mix. Blairsville won tonight, which should vault them into position as well. So it's kind of, even though it's early, it's a new season starting all over. And, overall, you did a lot of good things here tonight, and I think there's positive things to build on, going into the season.
Yeah, definitely. Even though we lost the game, I thought we played pretty hard. We were definitely physical out there, and I think Homer will feel that tomorrow, but they were physical as well. And we just needed a good boost going into the playoffs, and offensively I think we got it. We just got to go back to the drawing board for defense.
Matt, thanks for doing this. I'm going to let you catch up to your team and walk up the alley back to the school. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck next weekend when you open the playoffs. Hopefully one of our stations will be right there with you.
All right, thank you.
Matt Felisic, head coach of the Purchase Line Red Dragons. You score 48, and you walk out with a 9-point loss, Ward Hilliard. That's kind of hard to swallow, right?
He indicated that. He just said they had no answer. And, Wildcats basically didn't have much of an answer for Josh Seister. So we saw 2 very special athletes here tonight, Mark.
Ben Schmidt may be going to join us on our post-game show, too. We're waiting for head coach Greg Page. He's still addressing his team, and I have a feeling part of that conversation is, you win, but, man, there's work to do. Somehow we got to find answers on that defensive side, guys, and we can ask him what the long talk was about, Ward, but I'd be surprised if that's not part of it.
I think it's very much a part of it. I think he realizes after watching a couple of these performances, specifically Penn's Manor and then here again tonight, that they've got to ramp it up defensively. Because as we've said, Mark, you and I have covered enough of these games that we know you get in the playoffs, you've got to be able to play good defense. And right now, we're not doing that.
Our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show will continue after this short break with head coach Greg Page, a 57-48 Wildcat victory on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. We are back in our broadcast booth, and down on the field, I think he can hear us, is Ben Schmidt. Can you hear me okay, Ben?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
All right. You know, Ben, I told a little story. I don't know if you remember the text exchange we had about a month or so ago, and I said what a pleasure it's been for me calling your games. And tonight might have been the best of all. 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns, 7 extra point kicks, a 2-point conversion. You rushed for, let's see, 203 yards. You passed for 310. That may be a career high. Other than that, you really didn't do that much. I mean, kind of sum this up for me. I mean, we're going to put a Superman cape on you.
Yeah, I'm blessed with great teammates and great coaches, and yeah, we were able to execute tonight.
Execute offensively, at least, right? I'm sure Coach not real happy with the defensive performance. Drew Kaufman has really become a favorite target on the receiving end of three touchdown passes. Can you take us through any of those plays, what the play calls were, and what opened up for you, what you saw?
Yeah, Drew's one of my favorite targets. I'll take a lot of matchups with him, and we like the matchup. He can get open and catch the ball, and if I put it anywhere near him, he'll catch it. I know it.
And Michael Krajosic is developing too. You found him. He bobbled it ever so slightly, but hauled it in. Was that a stop-and-go pattern?
It was pure luck. That's what it was. It was miscommunication, and luckily he was able to run under it.
Well, I'm sure you feel good about earning a first-round bye in this crazy year of 2020. I'm sure you feel good to be standing out there in a football uniform. We can start with that, with this bizarre as this whole year has been. But Blairsville won tonight, so they're going to be in the playoffs. That's not going to be an option even to play them if you wanted to. But you think the first-round bye is going to come at a good time?
Oh, definitely. We have some banged-up players, and we definitely have some things to work on as shown tonight. But, yeah, we'll definitely benefit from that.
Ben, you're on the defensive side, too. Obviously, Justin Walbeck not playing, but he's not Superman defensively. What can be done? What do you think some of the issues are defensively?
We just need to tackle better. It's a combination of things, but we just need to be more aggressive and have better technique.
All right, I'm going to let you go. I know it's getting cooler out there. We'll let you get up to the school with your teammates. Congratulations on another unbelievable performance. You're now number 2 all-time on the rushing list. You're closing in on Jesse Lee. You passed Ian Lee tonight. Well done, young man.
Thank you.
Ben Schmidt. Ward, I don't know what else you can say about Ben. He's such a nice young man. He's a very intelligent young man, an excellent student. I don't know, Nick, who was better student, you or your brother? Nick's even giving him props for being way smarter than him, and Nick was a good student too, but a special performance.
Well, it's a special family. I know their mother very well, and you know they're well schooled, they're well taken care of, and they're very polite. And as you heard, that's a humble kid down there.
Yes,
he could be strutting around like nobody's business, but that's not his nature. It's a great kid to know. I think a lot of people would like to have a kid just like Ben Schmidt.
Head coach Greg Page joining us on our post-game show next, and we'll let Coach get the headset on, and Chris Graham helping us with the microphone. Coach, hopefully you're reading us down there. Coach, you got us okay?
Yeah, you got me.
That's great.
Yes, sir. All right, head coach Greg Page joining us after this crazy 57-48 Homer-Center victory, a new record for points. So what else is new in this series? We have seen the bizarre the past 6 or 7 years, Coach. Tonight, over 1,000 combined yards of offense, 526 for the Wildcats, 491 for Purchase Line. We were talking a lot in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter when they put 24 on the board. I have a feeling that in some ways this victory, not to take anything away from the dynamic offense, but it's a little bit shallow because of the defensive performance.
Well, I think our kids, the reaction afterwards in the post-game huddle, they weren't real happy. The defensive coaches were not real happy. There's not much else you can say. It was like the tale of two games as far as what we did offensively, and then what they were able to do offensively with great guys like Josh Seister and Melo Sanchez, Brady Seister. I mean, it was offensively it was kind of an embarrassment of riches, but we got a lot of work to do, and we're going to work over the bye to really stress some fundamentals.
Blairsville Bobcats went on the road and beat West Shamokin tonight. I think 38-20 was the final score. So they're going to be in the playoffs next week. Purchase Line will be in the playoffs. So the option of even playing Blairsville instead of taking the bye is off the table. So I doubt if you're going to be running around looking for an extra game on the bye week.
Absolutely not. Now, I did not realize that. Congrats to Blairsville. That makes that decision much easier because we were leaning towards taking the bye and giving a couple days off and then coming back and doing some fundamental work 2 to 3 days next week. So we'll do that. Our hand's been forced for sure there. And, so that's good. That's good. I mean, that happened the last couple years where, we were the last couple times we were with a bye. That happened. I think it kind of recharged us.
Coach, an extended conversation with your team following the game right down below us. If I can ask what that was all about.
Well, I think a couple of the assistants kind of lit into them a little bit about the defense, and then after the fight song and the alma mater, I told them I finally started to relax because I was a basket case the whole fourth quarter. But I said, hey, here's the bottom line: we did win the game, so relax, enjoy it. It's a senior night win. You take the good things when they come along. Yeah, we're probably going to want to toss the tape out, but the bottom line is we won the football game. Let's enjoy that. We earned a first-round bye. Let's put that to our advantage. And so we talked a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about what we'll do next week as far as a practice plan. But now we have options and we have days ahead of us to kind of get rested. We can get a guy like Walbeck back, hopefully. Mock needs some rest. I mean, he gutted it out tonight. A lot of our other guys got it out against a physical football team. I mean, when they closed in and made tackles, they were much more physical than we were.
Coach, on a positive, 216 yards rushing. Ben Schmidt had 203 of them, and 310 yards passing. He rushed for 4 touchdowns. He threw for 4 touchdowns. He kicked 7 extra points and ran for a 2-point conversion. One of the most spectacular performances, and there have been many of them in his career. Talk about it.
It continues to amaze me when you talk about the numbers. I mean, when I was watching him kick all those extra points, I thought back to last year when he had a hand in so many scores early in the season. I think he had a streak there, and he's got great guys around him with guys like Travis and Drew and Michael making big plays, and Shady McCoy continues to step up. And I thought Troopy, when he got the ball, Colin Troop ran hard, and he didn't get a lot of positive yards on the stat sheet, but he helps to keep things honest and get the tough yards inside. And our line up front, I know what the pressure they were bringing with some size and some good linebackers with guys like Huey, the Scott kid, number 65, and then the Patrick kid I'm just impressed with, number 56. So they were bringing some good, solid size and some pressure up the gut, and our front 5 handled that well too.
Before I turn it over to Ward, you mentioned Shady McCoy. I'll tell you what, he's really becoming a football player. I thought really one of the big plays in the game after a holding penalty, he juggled and really one-handed pulled in a nice grab over the middle for a 20-yard gain to move the chains, and you went on to score to make it 29-12. It was one of many big offensive plays in the game, but I don't think that one should go unnoticed.
Absolutely not. And that's something we put back in again this week that we've used the last couple years. Jake Cyani ran it great 2 years ago. We call it fondue. And it's a nice play. We worked on it this week, and Shady, Brockhauser, and Brennan Mogul worked on it. And, any one of those 3 would have been capable. But Shady ran it, reached up, made a nice grab, because Ben's going to feel the pressure on that because everybody's bailing laterally. And so we want to try to open the field. And, picked up a key first down, then we went in and score. That's important because we held them on their first drive of the second half, which always concerns me, and then we were able to turn it into points.
Ward.
Yeah, I was impressed by your kick coverage, Coach. I know that this year it hasn't been particularly strong, but tonight it was very good. And, I think that's something that you got to be happy with. And I also think Shady McCoy on defense is a big surprise. Certainly he has really helped that team out.
He has. He's aggressive. He's aggressive. The only kickoff I recall that was pretty bad was we got outflanked when Brady Seister took one towards their sideline, and our contain completely caved down. And he's got speed, and he got out around it. So other than that, we had good placement on our kicks. I think we recovered one that knocked off of somebody, and then we tackled pretty well on most of them. You're correct,
Coach. I'm going to close with this. I gave a stat entering the game, and it didn't change much tonight. It's probably a stat that you've never heard, from me certainly. Methodical drives, which were a trademark of your teams until the past year or two, versus explosive drives. You had methodical drive is considered to be a drive of 10-plus plays, and an explosive drive is a drive that averages 10-plus yards per play. You had 22 of them and only 2 methodical drives. How about that for the stat of the night?
Yeah. And I tell our guys on the sideline sometimes, our coaches, I'm like, I'm worried we're scoring too fast. They say, what, do you want to give the points back?
See, there's proof.
And so the point is you don't want to give the points back, but then you open yourself up to nights like tonight with a shootout. I'll take it. I mean, it's a testament to our personnel, really. I mean, the offense is different than what it was up till 2 years ago. I got Nick Schmidt over here. He's probably pissed off that we didn't run this offense with him because those guys would have loved this. But it lends itself to that if we can run it right and make good reads. And remember, a lot of times these guys are breaking tackles and turning these into bigger plays too. So a lot of the credit goes to the athletes as well.
All right, Coach, enjoy your week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Conemaugh Valley tomorrow, and then it'll be really interesting.
Wait a minute. I think they're not playing now, right?
Oh, did they? Okay, I thought they had found an opponent, so maybe that game's off the table.
Well, it was Keystone.
Right.
Keystone backed out.
Okay, so that would mean they're going to stay in the top 4. So my final point, I guess, I'll make with you with Bishop Guilfoyle's situation, they are going to be locked in at 5th, and their quarantine not supposed to start until next Sunday. Does that look like a forfeit for Guilfoyle?
We'll see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. And listen, this whole season and this whole time frame for the last 7 months has been crazy. So if something crazy happens there, we'll expect it. Correct?
Correct. Thanks, Coach.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
That's the way you duck a question. Our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show will continue on the radio side with radio replays. We're going to sign off on video, the video stream tonight. We apologize for the late start with that, but the guys worked through the issues, ended up on hardline internet that I didn't even know was ready to go yet, but they got it worked out. Thanks to D. Ober. Unbelievable. It's supposed to be his night off. I owe him a cold beverage of his favorite I can't say it on the radio, but we'll get him something, a Pepsi, okay? We're going to come back. Radio replays are up next on the radio side on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Homer-Center wins at 57-48 over Purchase Line.